big deal about local flavors is typically like a buster from somewhere else who's just like begging for a personality.
They bust in from Delaware.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they come in from the suburbs.
The suburbs, for sure.
And if they don't get addicted to drugs early on, they just become like,
Boys to Men fans.
yeah, the biggest Boys to Men. You know what you gotta do? You gotta listen to Boys to Men and Will Smith at the same time, dude. It's called the.
While eating a cheesesteak and throwing batteries at Santa Claus.
If you play End of the Road backwards on a record player, it sounds like the Rocky theme song.
Now I heard that you remixed End of the Road, and you
You had some
named
interesting.
it I've Got a Chode. I couldn't get that one out.
Yeah, I did.
That's good.
It was great.
That's
Yeah, you
very
gotta
good.
try the erotic
I tried
Boys to
it.
Men parodies when you come to Philly, dude. That's the main
That's the
thing.
best. Reading
Yeah,
Terminal has them. They're
cheesesteaks,
great.
that's touristy stuff. When you get to Philly, erotic Will Smith and Boys to Men parodies are what we really do. We shoot up heroin.
Oh, my ride's here.
This close to the Baltimore World Trade Center?
Oh, no!
No.
Too soon.
This one isn't worth it. All that's in there is a Spencer's Gifts. Now, tell me if I'm wrong, but I've always heard, and based on my own research, the actual Philly sandwich is that pork with broccoli raw.
Yeah, roast pork
That
sandwich
shit is so
it's
good.
great.
Dude. And
You ever
how
been
has
to
that not
John's?
gone national?
Because no one can stand Italian people.
Yeah, they're the worst.
yes.
Actually, the roast
white
pork sandwich
blacks.
was voted #1 sandwich.
Yeah, if you convince anyone to go roast pork sandwich instead of cheesesteak, they get there and they go, oh, I can see why this is such a hidden cut. And it's usually like a counter lady who's like, hey, what's up, hon? Fucking, what do you want? What can I get you? She's like spitting on the floor.
Yeah.
Philly Italians are real.
Pieces of shit. They're disgusting. But they make a great meal.
Don't get me wrong, the Irish in Philadelphia, pond scum.
Sure.
But the Italians, oh my
Barnacles on
God,
this
dude.
society of ours. We don't have any ethnics in Colorado.
I noticed.
We've got Mexicans and Vietnamese.
I noticed there were
Two
very
solid groups, though.
Two of the best. If you had to pick top 5, they're in there for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they really punch above their weight
Yeah.
ethnically.
They do, yeah.
But when I was in Denver, we were at the
I
Comedy
know you
Works,
won't shut up about it.
and they were saying, "Wow, this is a pretty white crowd this weekend." And I was like, "Yeah, well, I don't know. I gotta look at the place. And do you have like other people? Because
Yeah.
I'd love to invite them to these shows.
Yeah.
They wouldn't shut the fuck up about you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Everyone.
Yep.
You're the king of Denver.
I'm very lucky that everyone has embraced me so much. I mean, I started at that club, and I love that club. They finally gave me a fucking weekend, which is nice.
How long did that take?
It took selling out the last 5 shows I did at Comedy Works. Finally, she gave me a goddamn weekend.
Some damn respect.
Did they carry you out of there over their heads? When you're done?
They've tried, and that's what actually hurt Josh Blue. That's why Josh Blue walks that way.
They named you King Prospector.
Yes, indeed. I actually have video evidence of how effective you were. There's a bartender at the Comedy Fort in Fort Collins named Paul, who I think met you. He was like a turtle-shaped man without a neck, big Latino guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So he told me I did the Comedy Fort on Tuesday, and he was like, I just want to let you know, I think that Tim Butterly and I are better friends than you are. And then I filmed him, and I said, say that again, you pig. Say it again. I'm going to message it to him. Do you have his phone number? And he went, I was kidding. And I was like, say what you said. So yeah, you better not have. He was kidding, right?
All these posers. I don't know. I feel like we had a pretty strong connection.
That's what he said too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said you called him Brown Rainey.
No, it was
Who
Brown
hosted
Rain
for you
Man.
guys?
3 different people.
Yeah, they do
Yeah.
that a lot there.
Yeah, all had spent time in LA and all were eager to tell us about it.
Oh God.
Yeah, very nice people.
Did Georgia Comstock host?
No,
She's like the up and comer there.
no, these were not up and comers. These were cruising comfortablies. You know what I mean? You know?
What a nasty thing to say about my friends.
Hey, I'm just saying these weren't pups. I didn't feel like a very old guy, which I typically do.
Yeah.
I thought they did that on purpose because we were old guys.
No, I bet people were very eager to work with y'all
Yeah, well, I was,
because they wanted to exploit your connections.
just rolling with Matt,
Yeah, I know.
the new king of Denver.
We'll see. As soon as you said that, I had a shell in my bite.
Yeah.
Yeah, Denver's great, man. I'm leaving in,
You going to Austin?
yeah, moving to Austin.
Wow.
Cool.
That seems to be the spot.
It's just, I would be so foolish to not move there, given the opportunities that have been offered me.
Yeah.
I think if I were you, I'd probably just turn them down. Do you want to be a guy that's known as like you're walking around accepting opportunities?
No, I've
You
never
know?
done that yet.
It's so it's such a yucky. And you must be swimming in them.
No.
No.
You'd think the industry would give me more of a wink and a smile, but no. I'm still out there, like Johnny Appleseed.
No, you are like a folk hero. You're like a larger than life personality. We had such a I don't know, climactic might be the word, but the first time we met at Skankfest and like we caught each other from across the room, and I was like, it's my friend from online. And I was staying with my wife, and she said she felt the static discharge.
There was a lot of pressure put on our first meeting because everyone in Philadelphia kept telling me how we were going to be friends immediately. And I was like, what if this sucks? What if I blow it? I was sincerely nervous about meeting you. I was like, what if he doesn't like me? What if I reek right now? Because it was Vegas and I reeked a lot. Yeah, but I think it worked out. We hit it off and I'm grateful.
It would have been really funny if I sucked though.
I don't think you could possibly suck though, based on like your whole demeanor.
Everyone has the capacity to suck.
I don't, I'm the greatest.
That's true.
Yeah. Shut up.
So when was the last time you've been to an aquarium, Sam?
You know what? I have not been to an aquarium since I went to the Monterey Bay Aquarium in probably 2016 with my wife and her uncle and her aunt.
So you have pretty high standard for
I
aquarium.
do. I've been to very good aquariums. You mentioned the Atlanta Aquarium, Slam Dunk.
Pretty cool.
Yep. A lot of whales in there.
Yeah, that's their big pull. is the whales.
Well, the fish had to match the demographic.
Speaking of
Sounds
your
good.
wife,
Oh no,
you guys seem to have a blast.
you nutted.
We do, man. Yeah. Yeah, I really love her. She's taking the next 6 months off. She's been in school or she's been in residency for the last 10 years. So she's going to take 6 months off and she's coming with me on the road and it'll be great.
Oh no way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we're gonna
really
be
are
we're gonna be
folk
set up in Dearborn, Michigan, and we're gonna take care of our niece when I'm not on the road, and then she's gonna be coming to like Australia and Europe with me, so it'll be fucking sick.
Yeah, you're doing it right.
I think she's gonna
So
come to
sick.
Side Splitters too.
Tampa?
Yeah, she was like, "Can I come to Tampa?" I was like, "I've been in Key West the week before. What's the matter with you?"
Tampa kind of rules though.
I've heard that club's really
Tampa,
good.
like St. Pete area.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of fun.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
I think any wife is kind of concerned when her husband goes to Florida.
My wife has zero concern. My wife has given me so many passes to go whoring. Like,
Oh no, I meant more as just like washing up on
Yeah.
on the edge of a swamp somewhere.
Yeah, that's fair. I really
But go
toned
back to
down
these
the
passes
boozing.
for whoring.
Yeah. Well, we were in
Wow,
Japan.
your wife is so fun.
Yeah, yeah, we can edit that. Yeah, like I went to Paris with my friends like 4 years ago, and she was like, "If you guys want to get a prostitute, go crazy." I was like, "The four of us are gonna go quarters on a pro? That's a nightmare for everyone involved." And then when we were in Japan, she's like, "You can get a blowjob in Japan; it's totally legal." And she was like, "Do you want to pop in?" Like, what? She's like, yeah. She's like, "I want to check out this like nail salon. I'm gonna get my nails done. Why don't you get sucked off?"
Whoa.
I said no. And then she
Yeah.
wanted me
She's
to
like,
take
wow,
my
they have Connecticut style.
yeah,
They have
extra
warm with
mayonnaise.
butter.
I like mine cold. I like my blowjobs to commute to New York for work.
Whoa, man. So she's outsourcing the work.
I think she's just like understands that a man has different whole needs. HOLE.
Sure.
She wanted me to take my dad to a whorehouse in Amsterdam, and that's a conversation I didn't want to have.
That seems like a very
With your
awesome
dad or with her?
conversation to have.
With my father.
Why not?
Because we were there to spread my mom's ashes. I wanted to be like, "Hey, now that you dumped
No,
all that
you
trash in the river, Dad."
Were you really?
Yes. Yeah, we dumped it in the Amstel River, and she wanted me to take him to get his nuts off. I was like, I don't want to do that.
You know, the entire time he was sitting there just trembling, like
Yes.
practicing saying like yes, but not too eagerly.
And do you think your dad was? Yeah. Do you think your dad the entire time was just like?
Hey, Daddy.
Boy,
Yeah.
I hope he asked me to go get my dick sucked right now. I hope Sam asked me to get my dick sucked.
hope
That's
my-
all I want.
I hope my
Oh, man.
35-year-old son
Yeah.
takes me to get glorped.
He's texting his buddies like, "Do you think that Sam knows what the red light district is?"
I did mention to my sister because we walked by the red light district and the ladies are in there just putting them on the glass. It's truly a tremendous occasion. And I said to my sister, I was like, we should get my dad a prostitute, and she went, "Yuck, Samuel," and walked away.
I think that was her saying it's up. Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah.
It would have been a me thing. I know.
But that would have been so. Do you think that would have been fun if you guys were getting like matching blowjobs? In
I
Amsterdam,
would
and you're
not
like,
have. You wanted me to high five my
no,
father?
like hold hands, like almost like an Eiffel Tower, but from this like.
Not
you know?
eye to eye.
No, like
Yeah.
you're next to each other, and then
I'd go. I'd lock.
You go
bro
black
shake.
hand, white.
I go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
unity.
The meme. This hand says getting sucked off. This hand says getting sucked off. It says the talent.
It's his father-son relationship.
Yeah. A lot of mayonnaise on this. You'd hate it, Bobby.
Bobby no mayo.
What did you guys think about the lobster roll? You didn't have one because you're a child.
Pretty
I had a
rustic.
dog.
Yeah,
Pretty rustic.
it was rustic.
I mean, you just need a toasted bun and you can put whatever the fuck you want inside. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I remember the first time I had lobster rolls. My mom took us to Bar Harbor, Maine. Hey, ladies.
Shout out.
All right. You gotta do that. It's important.
Come on the
down
show
here.
tonight.
Yeah.
You're famous.
Yeah. They were like, well, how did a manatee get out of the aquarium? How's it sitting upright? Sunglasses on a fish. I'm a mammal, bitch. I'm like you.
By the way, why don't you suck my dad's dick?
Hey, my mom just died, and my dad, still hard. My dad has a girlfriend now, we think. This
Really?
lady Beth, he's been texting.
Beth?
It's very exciting.
That's a good name for like
Did
an
he
old
give-
girlfriend.
It is.
Do you give an excuse for why he's texting her, or is it just like,
I
oh, it's not what you think?
yeah, it's not what you think. We only do anal. Your mom would have hated it.
I just gotta get my rocks off.
Your
Samuel.
mom's butt was so tight, Sam. You don't get it.
She wanted to do it. She just
I
couldn't.
told her.
Yeah.
I would tell her, just relax. Son. I never got there.
My dad would tell
That's
my
my
mom
one
to
great
relax.
regret is never doing anal with your mother. Sam.
Sam, gather around. I can't tell your sister this. But your mom was a real butt pig.
Hey sis, do you think we should get Dad some anal while we're in it? Ew.
Ew, Sam.
Yuck, Sam.
Samuel, no.
Samuel.
You know Dad loves anal too much.
You know he won't say no if you ask.
Yeah. Sophie, you have to ask me. It'd be weird if I did. Daddy?
And your dad's like, Samuel, no. What? Giving or receiving?
Yeah. Or my dad's like, too late. I smell my fingers. He fingered a lady's butt. Dad, you did it
Possibly. I had a
wrong.
lot of anal for lunch. I ate a lot of ass for lunch, Samuel.
I paid 600 euros and I got to finger her butt.
I went A to M with my fingers.
Yeah. He wouldn't know. He doesn't know how to do it. I can't imagine my dad like talking to women. This Beth woman, though, I guess is a fundamentalist Christian, which is throwing us all for a loop.
Very strange.
Her husband died and my mom died, and they met in like a grief group. So my dad's 13 stepping with this lady.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is she much older or younger or same age?
I don't know shit about her. I've never seen a picture of her.
So how was she discovered by you and your sister?
My wife saw him texting someone, and then I was like, hey, Dad, I just want to let you know, like, if you have a girlfriend, I won't be mad at you. I think that's great, but I will be bummed out if you didn't tell me you had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, then I need to tell you something. Like, my dick is clammy with fucking pussy, son. Remember that lobster
Dad,
roll
listen.
you had in the future with Tim Butterly? That's what my dick smells like. It's Connecticut style.
Geriatric pussy is the
Hey,
butteriest.
you should get that Bobby guy who does sound for Butterly and see how quick he eats this hot dog.
Dad, you'd tell me if you were getting your dick slurped, right?
Well, I have to tell you something.
Dad,
Watch this video.
If you were getting your knob slobbed, you'd tell me, right, Dad? Samuel, sit down.
On my lap.
Beth and I have been 69ing this whole time.
She's under me right now.
Samuel, I want you to meet Beth. We've been 69ing ever since your mother passed. And she's very important to me. I don't like her.
Hold on. Watch this.
What? Standing 69 at the dinner table.
Look, Samuel, her pussy goes crazy.
Look how wide she busted open. She says I'm a real one. Yeah, my sister's not stoked, but I think it's great.
Yeah.
She's not.
You don't want an old guy to be sad and alone.
I want my dad to be happy.
If there's one thing sisters love, it's storming out of a family gathering because your dad keeps getting his dick sucked.
I know, yeah.
Slamming a door behind her, saying like,
He
you
doesn't
know,
have to do it in front of everybody.
yeah, I'm the only one who gives a shit around here, that kind of stuff.
I should be
so.
sucking off dad. It's my birthright.
I'm the oldest.
Yeah, she's watching her stake in the will just decrease daily, like every load.
Dude, literally, so he called my sister and told her after I found out. My wife and I had a conversation with him, and he's like, "Well, I gotta tell Sophie." So he called my sister, and my sister called me immediately afterward and was like, "I just hope he doesn't write her into the will." I was like, "What a weird thing to immediately
insane.
think." I know. It was kind of craven. I
You
didn't
know-
really care for it.
Yeah.
You ever have an intrusive thought and you just
course.
grab anything else? That was what he grabbed when he imagined his dad having sex with a new woman.
Yeah, that was the first thing. You know, my main intrusive thought is going to a Globetrotters game and screaming the N-word. That's like a fear. I've had dreams where that happens to me. And everyone's mad. No
But do
one's
you think it's
happy.
funny, or are you just
No,
like,
dude. I
it's
wake
like
up
such
sweating.
an impulse?
Yeah.
Even the generals are mad?
Yeah, the generals are pissed.
I thought they'd like slow clap for you into a silent
Finally,
arena.
dude.
I think we got a shot this game. Just turned the tide.
They're thrown off.
Yeah, my biggest intrusive thought is saying a slur around a group of people who would be very upset by that slur.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I get
And
that.
I'm not a big slur guy.
Yeah.
I only say it to make Pat laugh. Oh no.
Pat loves that stuff.
Pat loves it.
Wow.
Now you got a root beer I saw.
Main root.
Main root blueberry soda.
I feel like you are really treating yourself.
Yeah?
I feel like your body's like a temple and you don't drink a lot of refined sugar.
Oh no, you're crazy.
Am I?
Yeah, I eat like a child king.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I
Cool.
completely abuse my digestive system.
Interesting.
Yeah. I had daily diarrhea for like almost 20, 25 years.
Bro, I live with diarrhea.
Yeah.
Not having diarrhea is a notable occasion.
Yeah.
Like last night I got back to the hotel, I'd been holding it in all day since before we boarded the plane. And I got in there after the shows and I just pulled the pin on that butt grenade and I came out and I wanted to tell Pat what a good job I did, but the smell announced it beforehand. It was heinous.
Your herald. You entered the room with a trumpet.
The last
Hark.
few days.
Yeah, that was my wife's always like, "You have diarrhea a lot." And I'm like, "Yeah.
Well, I think like
Welcome to the jungle."
smart. I think most people associate it with like dying. Like diarrhea kills people in other countries.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was
Not
just
here.
like,
That's every day, bro. You know.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
associate it with like phone games.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Recently, I've been having like a lot, like consecutive diarrheas in a day. That's been kind of alarming. Like,
This
I've
is
been
your
hitting,
Andy
like,
Richter,
3.
huh? Diarrhea bragging over here? It just keeps coming.
It sucks, dude. I hate it. It
You
hurts.
love it.
No,
You're
'cause
doing
when
2-a-days?
Because when no, I'm doing like 3-a-days, dude. And it's like I'll wake up and I'll just like diarrhea, and then like I'll go back and I'll lay down. But laying down like makes my stomach hurt more, you know. But when I sit up, I think it all kind of just like settles more. I don't know. I think that when I'm laying, what I think is like the acidic shit is like hitting like my walls like to get into like near my stomach, and that's like really irritating it. And when I sit, it all kind of sits at the bottom, like near the rectum, you know.
None of this is based in science.
I think so though.
I know you think so.
But
You're saying it with a lot of confidence.
wife's a doctor,
Because it's so wet, is what I'm saying. It's so liquid, you know.
How do you gauge how wet it is?
Because I've been having fucking diarrhea. What do you mean?
Toilet barometer.
Like you
Yeah.
know how wet it is.
Do you
It's
have a
diarrhea.
device?
No, but I can.
Now you're littering.
No.
You're really big dicking down here, Noah.
I'm not trying to. Maryland's a lovely city.
I think Maryland's a state. I think that
Oh,
you
you're so
should
right. You're so right. I'm sorry.
probably get that looked at. Because you're what, 22 years old?
23.
Jesus, you look terrible.
I know.
I'm kidding. I think that you should maybe get that checked out if you're going 3 times a day.
Well,
Because
no.
there should be some clumping eventually.
But that was no. But that
Even
was
by
like
accident. You should
no.
accidentally have a normal.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it was. I got
Just
into
a pile.
I think it was because of some hot pot I had recently.
yeah,
But
you drank the broth.
well, yeah. But, you know.
You're not supposed to. That's a lot of sodium.
I think I had a little undercooked meat as well. I ate like a half raw lamb dumpling. I think that could have fucked me up. But It's kind of subsiding now. It was just like 3 miserable days.
Could you call your wife and ask her what the real reason for all this is?
Dude, 3 years ago,
Did she explain it
but
to you
after,
at some point?
After third year residency, whenever I call now and I'll be like, hey, H. Foley's got a weird bump on his balls. She's like, I'm at work. Stop bothering
Part
me.
of the charm.
That's fine. Today was more solid, but I've only shit once. I shit this morning. That's
Well,
it.
you
We all
are
had emergencies in the car getting here.
really,
Yeah.
and that's a 2-hour drive.
Hour and a
Yeah.
half about.
Hour and a half. It would have been an hour and a half.
By the end, I was Indian burning the steering wheel. Can you still say Indian burning? I was
Ask
indigenously
Noah.
burning. Sorry.
Indian is back in universities. It's not Native American anymore.
Finally,
Back to
win
Indian.
one for guys like us.
Yeah, dude. We got rid of African American.
Uh-huh.
Got rid of Native American. What's
Yeah.
next? On our conquest.
Gay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Who's
let's get rid of queer.
I'm gonna call them sex idiots.
Come retards, dude. Gay people are come retards.
Wrong holers.
You know what's funny is all the families just having a joyous day in the
Yeah.
Baltimore Inner Harbor.
I know.
And
Us
then just
too.
I would say, well,
We're like a family now too.
juxtaposed with some of the most heinous homeless people I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Dude.
The most like energetic and animated miscreants I've come across.
We walked by, Danny and I walked by a homeless guy. The one that we saw, he was bathing in the harbor, his feet and hands. But we walked by and he was laying on a bench and he went, I only bet black. Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, George
Jefferson.
Foreman, George Foreman.
George
George
Floyd.
Floyd.
George Floyd.
Yeah, he's 3 for 4.
They're great. I'm still up.
75% is well beyond passing.
That's a good bankroll management. I would not have taken Floyd.
No.
Yeah, that
George?
cop looked like he really wanted to kill a black
Yeah,
guy.
he did, and he did.
He did.
And he did.
Yes, he did.
Handily, dude.
Yeah.
He
Thank
looked
you
like
for saying
Superman
kill.
doing it.
He did,
Not in like
yeah.
a valiant way, but in like a nonchalant, not even a facial expression.
Like he came to Earth from a distant
Yeah.
planet to
Yeah.
just commit black genocide.
Like he flicked George Floyd and he went through like 5 buildings in a row before finally stopping against like a filing cabinet in an office full of shrieking women.
Like he picked up a car and threw it at George Floyd. No one ever talks about that.
Yeah, they focus on like the the headlines.
Yeah.
Can you adjust your mic a little bit? It's kind of
We don't need more Tim. I think it's the Sam and Noah show now,
Yeah.
featuring Curly Sue.
I know, dude. How embarrassing. I should get my hat.
Edgar Allan
No,
Poe.
your hair looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Rick
Yeah.
said he's doing Edgar Allan Poe for Baltimore.
Yeah, do you know what Edgar Allan Poe looked like? It was kind of like this.
Do I know what Edgar Allan Poe looked like? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
I'm
think
an
about
American
it much.
citizen.
Well, I saw a picture of him earlier and I went, oh, I forgot.
He looks like he was in Joy Division.
Yeah.
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 Or actually
Okay.
Placebo. He looks like he played bass in
Yeah, I was
Interpol.
gonna say he had long hair.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we got fed a lot of Edgar Allan Poe as kids.
Yeah, I agree.
Growing up
We
in
had
Colorado,
units.
Well,
we got a bunch of like Native American history, and then for some reason there was like a year of Poe shit.
I was gonna talk to you about being well read because I'm the opposite of that. But
Yeah.
I think there was an effort for them to show it's just like they had one shot to get kids interested in reading, and that's probably as like cool to kids as literature gets.
Yeah, I mean Telltale Heart's pretty sick, dude. You know what was the big trick to getting kids to read? You remember that Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark
Yeah.
book?
Mhm.
So that's like one of the most horrific pieces of fiction ever.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
shit, like I went and read it recently to read it to like this 9-year-old that I know, and I was like, this sucks. I'm getting spooked. The sun was up.
Yeah, I can remember finishing. I have a distinct memory of finishing a story. I think it was about like a missing toe or something like
Yes.
that. I can remember finishing the story in my room by myself and just being affected to my core.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah,
I
it
think
chilled me
those
to the
days are over.
marrows.
I
I
think,
think if you read it to one of your children,
yeah.
if they weren't too busy shadow boxing in the corner and eating raw meat, they could probably scare the shit out of them.
Try.
What's your son's name? Krang?
It scared the shit out of my
Shillelagh?
6-year-old. Kabong. This is my son Kabong Butterly.
He's from Vietnam.
He's adopted.
Yeah, that shit ruled. But no, that shit's, like, it's funny that we're arguing about like banning books in schools. It's like I've never even seen a child read a book. Those days are over, dude.
Yeah, you're right, dude. That's not good.
Like you could ban whatever book you want, and kids are never going to notice. And I'm talking about like just kids in general, not just my idiots, not just my uncultured swine, laying belly down on the living room floor, kicking their feet, watching guys solve puzzles on YouTube.
Yeah, just rubbing their groin against the ground. Nothing. Nothing, Tim.
I'm watching TV.
They call you Tim. Nothing, mom's friend.
Ben, you'd tell me if you were having sex with the rug, right? You let me know.
No.
Dad, I have something to tell you.
Dad, take a seat.
This is the area rug, and it's very special to me.
Have you seen me laying down while I watch funny videos?
Funny videos.
All right. Young Bloods.
When I was a kid, they used to get us into reading by giving us like those Pizza Hut personal pizza coupons.
Book it.
Ever do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Reading Olympics. Every 100 books you read, you get a free personal Pizza Hut pizza.
It wasn't 100.
It was 100 for my school. Yeah.
So you never ate a pizza?
It's like, brother, I would house books. I read so much when I was a kid.
100 books. No.
I think I would read like 200 books a year.
I think that you're
How many books
lying.
you read a year? I believe it.
Because they would count smaller books too, because it's elementary school, you know.
Oh,
But I've
this
read
was
a
in
few-
elementary school.
Yeah, this is an elementary school.
We did not have the Book It program until I was in like 6th grade.
Yeah, this was when I was in like 3rd grade, so it was like smaller books.
That
But then I'd
makes
get into
sense.
like chapter books too.
Were you a
Yeah.
big kid?
Was I a big kid?
Yeah.
No, I had a.
Yeah, just Bunkers and Spike is like freaking out.
Oh, okay.
Check.
Hold that thought though, because I'm very
Check.
curious about this.
Is it me?
Is it me?
Texas sun,
Yeah, you can see my pack.
I'm a real low.
Sometimes like oh, it might be that rubbing up against the shirt.
Texas sun.
What do we think? Like this, maybe?
Yeah.
Is that better? I can go higher with it too.
I wonder what this police activity is.
How about that?
At the Pier 5 Hotel, was there a murder?
Check, check, check.
Baltimore?
Check it out.
It's
Checking
just like
out
The Wire.
Bobby.
This is
Bobby,
just
I'm
like The
checking
Wire.
it.
That sounds nice.
Checking it out, Bobby.
Cool. Thank you, dude.
You're welcome.
I would always see on
Nice.
YouTube, there was like that clip of like the gay guy in The Wire, like beating the shit out of that guy at the restaurant. I've never seen The Wire, but that clip is always online.
I never watched it. It was hard for me to believe
Omar?
police got involved
Yeah,
in
no, just so you're
drug
right.
stuff.
Yes, of
Just
course.
gonna make sure everyone's screwed in tight.
I'll check mine.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nice and toy.
Yours is tight.
Tight.
Alright. I think we're good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bobby.
Tight as a Christian fundamentalist stepmom's butthole.
I hope they don't get married. He said they're not going to get married.
No point at this late in the game.
Yeah.
How old's your dad?
It's really none of your business.
Okay.
He's 68 years old.
Wow.
He's
Yeah.
almost 69. Nice. He's almost 69 years old. You're nice.
It's the year my mom passed.
69.
1969.
Yeah. No, I mean, she was 69 years old.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Heyo.
I was born in 87. They didn't freeze her eggs.
Man, I can't believe your mom died in 1969. That must have been so hard on you, dude.
It was tough, man.
It was in Woodstock.
Yeah. I was listening to Incense and Peppermints by the Strawberry Alarm Clock. I remember it came over the radio. They said, "This just in. Some old bitch is dead.
Sam, if you're listening,
Yeah.
we have terrible news.
Some redheaded freak passed away. I'm getting banged out."
Your mom was a redhead?
Yeah.
Was she like one of the hot
Nice.
redheads or one of the gross redheads?
My mom had a androgynine beauty when she was younger.
That's very nice.
Yeah. I would, I mean, and I'm not one of those guys that's like, I can't
Like an
tell you
80s
if my
music
mom's
icon,
hot.
maybe?
Kind of like Eurythmics.
Yeah.
Kind of like that chick in the Eurythmics.
Okay.
Kind of like at the end of Ghostbusters 1. Like the, are
Azul.
you a god?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
She was pretty banging.
Yeah, that was my mom when she was younger.
Damn.
I totally married my mother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you
yeah.
marry your mother?
I certainly hope not.
Yeah.
Possibly, but no.
Was your mom like 6'8"?
Not that
Because
I
your wife
recall.
is very petite.
Yeah, my wife is extremely. We don't look like we're from the same species.
No. It's got to be cool though, because she can travel in the glove box.
I could wear her in like a wicker basket on my back
Yes, you could.
with strong enough straps.
Yeah, my wife was like, "You married your mom," and I was like, "No, I didn't." And then she's like, "Yes, you did," and I flinched, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I married my mom."
No.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go to my room?
Am I in trouble? Can I? If I finish my dinner, can I have a snack?
I can't play Manhunt anymore.
Do I have
All
to
the
come
boys are
inside?
outside waiting for me.
Can I go out?
Did you ever play Manhunt? That snuff film
Yes,
game?
all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant the tag game
Oh, I
where
thought- yeah, I
people
thought
were
you
like
meant tag
hiding around the
game.
neighborhood. But yes,
No,
to
the
both.
Grand Theft Auto game.
Yeah, the
You guys
fake
had
Grand
you
Theft
had a
Auto.
tag game called Manhunt?
Yeah, it was like a
Yeah.
big neighborhood-wide, like basically like tag.
I didn't have a
Team
neighborhood.
tag, basically.
I grew up in like deep in the country on like 14 acres.
Oh,
we had
yeah,
no neighborhood aspect.
That sounds
no,
so nice, though.
no,
It
we
was
grew
cool.
up. I grew up in like poor people row home areas, and it was like, I hated going outside because I had video games. All I needed was a Super Nintendo game. But like most kids just wanted to go outside because their house was like tiny and unair conditioned and like full of violent maniacs.
Yeah.
So you just any excuse to just so you would hide around the neighborhood to make the game take as long as possible, and you just go home very late at night.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Kids from the neighborhood were out constantly, all day, just fucking around.
That sounds like such a nice time.
It
Yeah,
is-
but I'm
it
such a
was.
grass is greener guy that I've always imagined like a spread out like rural or even like suburban like setup, like having to like the anticipation of like growing up and getting to like drive to cool stuff because there's nothing like you're so starved for it. That
Yeah.
almost makes me fucking horny.
Interesting. Yeah, I've never ever considered that I was lucky. I mean, I liked growing up where I did, but we had to drive a half hour to get to Walmart, you know? And that was like a big day out. My dad would be like, "We're going to the bank." And me and my sister would be like, "Yes."
Yeah, I guess as a kid, it seems like kind of like boring. If you're like not around a bunch of kids or anything, like at will, I would just go outside and there would just be a gang of kids, just
Yeah.
like roaming.
And
Yeah,
then
that's cool.
you're just like wandering around like a sensory overload nightmare, and you're just like, "There's nothing going on, dude."
Yeah,
Yeah.
but at least you're exposed to other children's ideas, whereas I grew up in a situation where it was like everything that happened inside of my head was like true, you know, and it was like unquestioned.
Whoa.
Yeah, so then I like, I mean, obviously it wasn't like my parents were coddling every weird notion I had, but it wasn't until I went to school and like, you know, when I was like 5 or 6 where I like realized that I wasn't just the arbiter of truth.
Was there like a brick wall that you ran into in that
Yeah,
regard?
yeah. There was a kid named Clay Rader who went on to be
Oh, that's the coolest name I've ever heard.
he was great. Yeah, he got a scholarship to Texas Tech, I think, for rodeo.
That's
What the
sick.
fuck, dude?
Yeah.
That's so
Where's
cool.
he?
I think he lives in East Texas and he has a bull farm
That's
now.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
But he had a brother named Dusty Clay, and their dad's name was Cecil, and their mom's name was John Anna. And I remember going over to his house in like 6th grade, and I just sat down and started eating at the table. And they were like, "What are you doing?" Like, "We say grace." And I was like, "What's that?" Like, I didn't know what grace was. I was raised like very godless. It was strange.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
We had.
Yeah, but
fake
you guys
God.
worship the wind, right?
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
We all have spirit animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a spirit of the woods, but aside from that, no. this is-
We didn't have woods. We had the Black Forest, but like you had to drive there. It was just the high high
open sky?
prairie. Yeah. God's country.
Wow.
And right over there across Pikes Peak, you stare it down every morning.
Wow. I can't imagine.
I used to do the thing, you ever do the thing where you'd go to someone's house and do whatever you want, and they'd be like, "Knock it off," and you'd say, "I'm the guest."
No, never
No,
in
we
my
had
life.
terrible-
I
we were
never
afraid
Bobby
of getting
knows.
hit by our friend's parents.
I never had that fear.
never
I
had
was
that
like, I have
confidence in my
diplomatic
life.
plates on
we
this
were,
fucking
we were
car.
like afraid of like getting hit by like our friends' alcoholic aunts who lived with their parents.
Yes.
dude.
Oh,
I would be
yeah?
afraid. I would be afraid to like go into friends' houses.
Bro.
I would sit outside. And if they had to run in, I'd sit at the door outside.
I've known women who
Wow.
lived in basement apartments that made me fear for my life.
Wow. I don't think I ever went into an apartment until I was like 16 years old.
Bro, I mean, watching a single woman in her 30s like fatly walk down a flight of steps to fall asleep on a broken futon, knowing that at any point in the night she might come back upstairs angry and just start thrashing everybody was just, it fried your senses. And it was like
Yeah.
a group. Look at Danny shaking his head. And you'd be like, dude, fucking. You'd be like, dude, your Aunt Shelly's being such a fucking bitch right now. And you'd be like, shut up, dude. She's gonna hear you.
She can hear you.
My neighbor's aunt used to like yell to me like about like my neighbor and be like, "Isn't he such a piece of shit? He curses at his mom. Would you ever do that?" And I'd just be like, "No."
Yeah, no, would never
No.
do that.
Yeah, just be like, "No."
Sorry.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
living.
you guys have accents? Like, we don't have anything where I grew up.
Yeah.
I had Sally Job. She was my neighbor. And her daughter's name was Kathleen.
Wow.
Yeah, and me and Kathleen were like friends forever because that's all I had.
Yeah.
And I talked about this recently on my podcast, but I thought that Kathleen would be like my birthright, take my virginity. From very early on, I was
Yeah.
like, this is who I will lose my seed to.
Sure.
And then she moved away, and then when she came back, I ran into her party when I was like 16 or 17, and she had giant Hooters, and I was
Ooh.
like, this was stolen from me.
Yeah, that could have been
They
yours.
took this from me. Yeah,
Your
it was
mommy
very
milkers.
upsetting.
It's a
Yes.
cosmic injustice.
And like massive, you know?
Cool.
It was awesome.
Like, say when.
Right there.
Wow.
And also like 5'2".
Wow.
You know what I
That's
mean?
crazy.
Yeah. It was awesome.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. That was
It-
taken from you.
Dude, me too. And I didn't remember it until last week. Pat came out to my house and we spent the night there, my dad's house, and I remembered all this Kathleen Job shit. And I was like, oh my God, that fucking sweet pear should have been mine.
Did you try and fuck around with it when you met her again when you were 16?
No, I was like mad at her. I was like, how dare you?
How dare you move away and get big tits?
Yeah, how dare you
Without
put,
me.
how dare you
Without
put
me.
these on? Yeah. This was like pre-cell phones and everything, so.
I mean, not that it matters, but it would have been nice if you asked.
You couldn't tape them down. You know it's gonna be.
I hate you.
How's Smoky Hill? I bet you're getting banged out.
Dude, were you mean to her?
I wasn't mean to her, but I was like pissed. I
Yeah,
remember like
yeah.
it was very unjustified. Yeah, my buddy Jesse Kendig was there. He's like, "Did you see Kathleen?" I was like, "What? She's here?" And then I saw her across the party, and I was like, and then she like did that thing where she like took off her sweatshirt later in the night, and she had him,
Oh,
and I was
wow.
like, "What the fuck?
What's your fucking
What's
problem?
your deal, Kathleen? Your brother burnt down my parents' barn." He did. He burnt down our barn. He
No
was smoking
way.
cigarettes in there Christmas Eve. Yeah.
Were there any animals in there?
No, it was an old antique barn.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
How sick was the blaze, though?
I don't know, dude, because we came back from my aunt's house on Christmas morning. We spent the night over there Christmas Eve, and the barn was gone. And my mom was like, "The barn's gone. The barn's gone. The barn's gone, Samuel." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And there were just a bunch of fire trucks around it. And then when they did the arson investigation, because they thought my parents burnt it down for the money, it turned out that they found cigarette butts in there. And the only people who smoked cigarettes near us was Kathleen Job's older brother.
Was he ever presented with the
No,
evidence?
My parents didn't narc. They got the insurance money. And they built like a clubhouse that was very like.
Your parents were aware of who did it, though?
I mean, we didn't know who else it could have been. Hey,
Yeah.
Colorado! Let's go Nuggets, man. All right. Don't give a shit then, you old freak.
People in Baltimore are too rude. They don't know about Midwestern
That's Baltimore,
hospitality.
man.
What the fuck was that?
That's Baltimore, man.
Made me look like a jackass in front of Bobby?
It's just like in front of Bobby Sonics.
This sucks.
And not for nothing, but our friend has 2 hot dogs in his stomach right now.
He only has one, and he's
One.
very upset about it. Because Noah had 2.
I did
Oh,
that
yeah,
too.
that was who had 2.
One was a
sorry.
warm-up, and this one was for the camera.
Yeah, that was. This is a show dog.
Yeah. That's what they used to call me.
I did have 2 donuts.
2 donuts?
Why'd
2
you say
hot
that with a
dogs?
British accent? Noah, didn't you have 2
Nowhere.
donuts?
Nowhere.
No.
That's quite a bit. No.
That was good. That was very good.
Ooh, that's my Edgar Allan Poe. He's a ghost.
I think he was a laudanum addict.
What's that?
It was like an early opiate that you could just buy over the counter back in the day.
Like the lady from Deadwood.
Yeah.
Never seen that.
Deadwood's what you have in your pants.
It works fine, thank you.
I bet it does. To be a young man.
I'm young
Have
and
you-
spry. Look at me.
Have you ever had a chance to do any of those exotic drugs, like smoking opium, or
I smoked opium for sure.
how cool was that?
It was awesome. We went through a big phase where we were smoking a lot of opium. That's actually how I met one of my best friend, Chris Charpentier. He came over to my house to buy opium, and I had like a fucking, like a baseball. And I was like, "This is it. How much do you want?" And he's like, "All of it." And then we smoked opium all night, and he said he went home and he woke up and he was completely nude, and he was laying on the floor, and all his roommates were trimming weed around him.
That's
Yeah.
it.
But then later on, this guy Jake the Snake would sell it to us. He was from Garden City, Kansas. And he lived across the hall from my friends. When I was 18, I moved to Denver from the country. And 2 of my friends did as well, and they were skateboard guys. And this guy Jake the Snake lived across the hall, and he would sell us this, like, he called it Red Dragon, and it was opium. And then later on, I ran into Jake the Snake's wife, and she told me that that was just melted down asbestos, that it wasn't actually opium.
What?
Yeah.
Did it
And
get
we
the
were-
job done?
Dude, we were so fucked up. We were so high.
Smoking asbestos.
Yeah, and she might have been fucking with me, but when I look back at it, it's like there was a reason it was $50 for like a fist's worth, you know?
Jesus Christ.
But I know I smoked real opium because I was in a band called Rowdy Shade House Funk Band, and they would smoke these blunts that were a snake of opium, and then they'd put cocaine and weed in there, and they'd call it getting up to get down, and they'd smoke those before we went on stage to play. And opium's a really great drug. Also, we had poppies growing up on my land, and we would slice them with a razor blade and then take the sap off and put it on cigarettes and smoke them.
Wow.
Did it work?
No, dude, we got so sick.
Yeah.
I think you're supposed to let it dry a little bit longer.
How did you smoke those and then play music?
Oh, dude, it was easy. It was a funk band. It was just 4 on the floor for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Just
all-
straightforward, 1 drum solo every 12 minutes. It was fucking awesome.
And I mean, a lot of pelvic thrusting, obviously.
Well, no, because I was back there. I was just right here, you know? Just a lot of
But
this.
you were playing drums. I don't know why
Yeah.
I pictured you playing a guitar or bass.
No, I was a drummer, man. So I was just back in the back, holding it down. And
Oh,
there was
dude,
there was a
big
Marine
fat
Corps.
white guy drummer in a funk band,
Yeah.
smoking opium.
That's
and I
sick.
don't know
Brother,
if I would call
living
him big,
legend.
fat white guy, you know?
Well, I mean,
I'm
sit behind a
kidding.
drum kit.
No, yeah, I was a wad back there. And the drummer, I was the drummer, and then the bass player was this guy named Chase, who learned how to play bass in the Marine Corps marching band. So he had perfect
tight.
time.
That's tight.
Badass.
Yeah,
That's so
perfect
sick.
metronome time. And he would always stand back there and yell at me. He would just have coke coming out of his nose, and he'd say, "There's room for one more in the fucking pocket, Sam. Jump in this pocket whenever you want. I'm keeping it warm if you want to jump in the goddamn pocket. 1, 2, 3, 4." And I was like 20, and he was like 38. He'd just be chastising me while smiling. He'd turn to the crowd and one up bump. And, "Hey man, any fucking time you want to do your goddamn job."
Damn, he rules.
He was great. It's like, how much longer are we gonna play Maggot Brain for, Chase? Take another bass solo, you dickhead. He died.
No.
Yeah, he OD'd. They all OD.
Damn.
Every funk band bass player.
Yeah.
True.
In the DNA.
Yeah, that was fun though.
It's
When you were
part of the
smoking
secret, right?
opium, did you feel like the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland?
I did, yeah. I think that's a good way to put it, man.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, just like it was my first apartment. It was the first time I'd ever been out of my parents' purview, and just like having my friends over, and we would steal Deep Rock, those like 5-gallon Deep Rock water bottles from down the hall. And we'd make giant gravity bongs with them.
That's
And we'd
the
smoke
best.
like swag we bought from Civic Center Park and opium out of these things. You take an opium gravity bong hit,
That
and you're
sounds
just
nuts.
ruined, dude.
That sounds
Yeah,
nuts.
It was awesome.
That does sound awesome.
If I could find opium, I would gladly do opium anytime, like real opium. Like laying on your side, Chinaman singing a
Yes.
song in your ear.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
could you
That's
imagine?
originally why
That's
I
the
asked.
dream.
Because
Yeah.
that's something I've fantasized about for a long time.
If we could source like legit opium, I'm sure you have viewers right here,
Yeah.
you know?
I
Send
guess.
some opium.
Hit us up in the comments if you
Yeah.
know where to buy opium. Don't forget to smash that motherfucking I have opium button.
I mean, if you were to walk by right now in downtown Baltimore and see us, you would assume that we could get you opium.
Yeah.
Or at least offer it to us if you had it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like I've snorted heroin once, and that was cool, but it didn't compare to the smoking opium thing.
How hard is it to make, do you think?
Opium?
Yeah. They've
You
been
need a
doing
lot
it
of
forever.
poppies. You need a lot of poppies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
What
pretty
the Middle East
gifted
is winning
gardener,
over
though.
us.
Yeah?
I do love gardening.
Yeah,
I'm at
man.
war with squirrels right now. I'm growing garlic,
Oh no.
and they're destroying my fucking crop.
That sucks, man.
Dude, I have a little radio show. I was yelling about it on the radio show, screaming to the gods, hoping somebody would do something.
How
You haven't
small is
tried
this
anything?
radio show? Like this big, or
It's pretty small.
what do you mean you have a little radio
It's
show?
it's like online. It's like I do like a little broadcast once a week. It's just once a week.
Okay, so it's
It's
not
like-
a podcast. it's a
No,
radio
I play
show.
music and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And
What have you tried with the squirrels?
I stare at the window and I wait and see if anything shows up, and then I leave, and then right when I come back, it seems like
Just squeezing the
squirrels
handle of a
attack.
coffee mug at them?
Literally. Well,
Yeah, it's
they
probably
just
not doing
because
anything.
they dig in, they dig up the bulbs and stuff, and then have to reset the bulbs, and they rip the leaves off. It's been going like a week right now with no disturbance.
Sam has
But
experience with critters.
it's
He
terrible.
can tell you how to handle a squirrel problem.
Well, my question is, they're like tulips, right? Because they're in the tulip family.
Yeah. They're just like, a bulb and a
Right. It's called like an allium or something.
allium. Yeah.
Allium,
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
So do they flower? Does
Yeah.
garlic flower?
Yeah, yeah. They're allium flowers are like big, beautiful purple.
They're
puff balls.
gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if they flowered or not because onions will flower.
Yeah,
like
they
we
do
have a
as
bunch
well.
of green onions and they get that puff ball as well.
Yeah, they do as well. But usually you want to cut them off before, just so
Right.
they produce more of the bulb.
So what are the
bigger,
squirrels after? If I know what the squirrels want, I can help you come up with
Probably
a
the
solution.
meaty, tasty bulb in the dirt.
Probably.
the
Or
bulb
they
in the
have
dirt.
there was a potato growing in a pot next to the.
What if
the
they're stealing the
garlic.
flower to
A
decorate
single
their home?
potato?
Okay?
I was- yeah,
had
well,
to
I was-
ask.
That's right. Going back to the hollowed out tree, a vase for your lady after work.
Yeah. Your squirrel girlfriend, you come in with a flower that's basically bigger than she is.
Yeah,
You're getting pussy that night.
squirrel
Yeah,
pussy
yeah.
wet.
You're gonna have an easy place to hide your nuts.
Come on, Sam. Samuel.
Hey man,
Can you put a trap?
I know we shouldn't work blue in Baltimore.
Can you put a trap around the bulb?
Oh, I don't want to put a trap around. Well, I need to get, like one of those like tomato cages,
Who could forget?
you know? I wanna
No.
that you put like when you're growing a tomato plant to help it from falling. You put it's like a little kind of like chicken wire funnel.
It's like a dick
Oh,
cage.
that you put over it.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
so
a dick
it'll,
cage.
you know,
Yeah.
You should have said dick cage. I would have followed.
Yeah, you know like
Okay.
those dick cages.
It's like a dick
yeah.
cage but bigger.
Yeah.
But
Like the one I use.
yeah,
Chastity net.
probably about the same size.
Yeah.
You just put that over it. I'm just hoping that would like prevent it. I don't know. But
It
they
would
can
be
also dig
s-
under. I think that there hasn't been a disturbance lately, but I think that's because there was like they were gnawing on this potato plant I was growing. Like they were eating like the potato itself underneath. So then I just took that and I just like chucked that. And they
Why are you growing one potato?
Because I live in a city.
I have a barbecue to go
I
to
have
in
a
6
fire-
months.
Well, no, you use a lobe from a potato plant and you get multiple potatoes from one lobe.
We called those Elisa.
Really?
Yeah, Lisa Loeb.
Samuel. Samuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's
It's
great.
okay. So you say these chipmunks are burrowing in to get your garlic?
Sometimes I look and it's
You
just
should
like
pour tiny
all over
concrete
the
walls
place.
around the base of the bulb.
Yes.
But
Have you
that's gonna
considered
destroy
that
the
you
bulb.
have gophers and you're dumb as hell?
No, I.
Yeah.
I know
Is that
it's
a concern?
squirrel.
Have
I
you
know
stopped
it's
to think
squirrel.
maybe I'm being outsmarted by rodents?
That's
Yeah.
like sometimes I think it's people because it's like they know. I think.
People don't eat vegetables
Where are they
anymore.
coming from though?
People don't
it's
eat
like
vegetables.
because it's just in the middle of the city. It's in it's in my apartment.
Yeah.
You know where it is.
Yeah,
I
especially
eat a
homeless
lot.
guys.
I eat a lot of vegetables.
Me too.
Do you have you ever had squirrel meat?
Yes, one time actually.
So yeah, so squirrel's actually tasty.
The one I had was bad because like a teen made it. and
A
it was-
teen?
A teen. He killed it, and we were just like, it was my. Well, it was in Bucks County, and I was at my friend Mickey's house, and his younger brother like worked at a florist, and there was land in the back of the florist shop, like just like woods, and he and the owner of the flower shop would go hunting in the back, and they just had like 22s, and he killed a squirrel one day, and he brought the squirrel in. He was like, "Do you guys want to try this squirrel? I just killed it," and we were like, "Yeah, absolutely." And then he just like cooked it, but he didn't know how to cook. He was like a dumb teen, and then it wasn't very good.
What the fuck?
Yeah. What?
It's just one of the better stories I've heard in a long time.
What the hell, dude?
Yeah.
You know when you walk by a street performer and they're really digging in on that guitar, and you stand there and you watch and you think, this is the best version of Redemption song I've ever heard? That was me listening to your story.
Yeah, he was like 14. He used to hang out with us as we smoked weed. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
We would just sit on my friend's like back like patio area, and he would just like hang out with us. But yeah, he worked at a flower
Whoa.
shop, like florist. You ever see the Goldbergs on ABC, the 6 ABC? You know?
No, I'm an adult.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Wait,
I'm
but
not
you,
a widower
you asked,
though.
You asked about eating squirrel meat as though you'd tasted it before.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
Just,
It's good. It's
You
good.
were just outside at the right time.
No. Where was I? I was somewhere in the middle of Mississippi, and someone served squirrel stew, and it was very good.
The one I had was kind of just like seared poorly.
Were you
Yeah.
traveling for comedy for this?
Yeah.
Dude, fucking folktale. You're a folktale of a man.
No,
Stop
I mean-
eating squirrel stew in Mississippi.
Now I like how you're allowing your potato salad to heat up in the sun. That's good.
That's
That's
German
a good
style.
move. Yeah.
My moment for mayonnaise has passed.
Yeah.
We probably got like 10 minutes left.
Okay.
Do you want to like start talking about going to the aquarium or
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Of course.
Well, I wanted to check this out because it's supposed to be the national aquarium.
Yeah,
I
that's
just-
cool.
You hear Baltimore Aquarium all the time, but it's always like, yeah, I get it. Great place for like divorced parents to take their kids on a custody weekend.
You know what?
I
You're right.
understand.
I can't go one goddamn day without someone bringing up the Baltimore Aquarium.
Well, we live close
all
enough.
the
We're within
time,
striking distance.
people are like,
you know
"Man,
what
this Baltimore Aquarium,
Mm.
that's where all of our tax dollars are going."
I mean? Yeah.
And thank God, I say.
Yeah, no, it's a family event near us.
Damn
you go to
schools.
Baltimore Aquarium, or maybe on like a really cool school trip.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, I don't know that I could tell the difference between any two aquariums.
I swear to God, you can. I bet you're going to notice a substantial difference when you go into this national aquarium compared to what, the Adventure Aquarium in Camden?
Sure.
Or the Point Pleasant Aquarium? You ever been there?
Wait, Camden, New Jersey?
Yeah.
You're going to an aquarium in New Jersey?
Well,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
on
yeah.
the waterfront. It's
It's
called the
right there.
Adventure
It's
Aquarium.
right there,
There's
dude.
actually,
Wow.
actually,
It's
it's pretty
supposed to be
cool.
pretty
It's pretty
respectable.
cool. There's a shark tunnel.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Woo! A shark tunnel.
Cool. The shark tunnel's cool.
What the hell? You're shitting on our aquarium
Yeah,
for,
you
dude?
guys suck.
What the hell?
Come out west, man. I'll
We-
show you some shit.
What do
I'd
you-
love to.
Bullshit.
You ever seen a
dude.
fucking mountain before?
Yeah, I was actually
Bend
on
over. I'll
Mount
show you a
Etna.
mountain right now. These have really upped my comedic game. Because you can just say something that's not very good and then hit him with a.
You ever get hit with the bend them over the barrel and show them the 50 states? That was a
No.
big thing during football.
What
That's
are you
kids would
talking
say.
about?
Because we had little barrels that we'd practice around, and then kids would go, "You want me to bend you over that barrel and show you the 50 states?"
I'd like to put you in a
Dude.
barrel and take you to Niagara and shove you off.
I bet I could make it.
I bet you could too.
You gotta go limp.
You gotta go limp. You gotta let the water take you.
Did you grow up near a toxic waste site by any chance?
I don't think so.
No.
Did you grow up inside of a microwave? Is that why you love single potatoes? It reminds you of your friend in the microwave?
It's a lobe of a potato,
Dude.
and it makes multiple.
Dude.
You're right, it's a lobe.
I don't
At
know.
least a lobe.
Thank you.
So you know about cool aquariums?
So, I mean, I just want to shit on anything at this moment. I love aquariums, and I love friendship, and I love getting content. So this is really, this is the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like having fun.
It's tough to go to Camden. It's tough for someone to say that based on what I know of Camden and think that it would be a good time.
The waterfront
Oh,
is
yeah,
nice. The
yeah.
waterfront's different from Camden.
It's kind of
So-
like this.
Yeah.
How like it's
This
the
is
wire
beautiful.
like 5 minutes away from here.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. If
The
you have a nice waterfront, people will come to it. They don't care that like
There's a music venue. Rutgers Camden is there.
Wow, Rutgers Camden.
Rutgers Camden.
They have a handball team,
Yeah.
right?
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Pickleball.
yeah. Yeah, no. I know it's all about positivity, and I'm positively stoked to get inside. I heard there's more hot dogs in there, Danny. Oh, wait, Bobby?
Bobby.
You hate hot dogs.
That's Bobby Sonics.
Why do you
Danny
guys call
hates
him Bobby
mayo.
Sonics?
This is the sound. Look at him.
Oh, I thought he worked at Sonic.
Cherry limeade. we
No,
were
he's an
just
audio
talking about
cyborg.
that.
We had a Sonic in my hometown. That place ruled.
What's your favorite drink there?
I like the Route 44 limeade slush. That's real good.
it was big. It was a big deal when Sonic came to Philly. Among diarrhea enthusiasts like myself.
Coney Island dog. I would house him.
Used to drive really far to go to a Sonic.
It was our only
And
fast food place.
And you want to talk about being fortunate? My God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about all the Wawas you get a shoplift from when you were a kid. I was there in Geeson's Market. My dad played poker with the owner. I couldn't steal from there.
Yeah, I would never steal from a Wawa. Kids would, and they would get me really nervous. I didn't like kids that stole. Like, I hated being around that when I was little.
I didn't like Hellraising kids. I was a very good
You were a good
child.
boy?
I was
Yeah.
a
Oh.
pretty good boy.
We know. Okay, so before I know we have to get into the aquarium, but I was asking you if you were a big boy as a child.
I was huge, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
A unit.
Yeah, I was a massive child.
Do you know how much you were when you were born? Like your
I was
measurements?
12 pounds. I don't know how tall I was. I was
Really?
a 12-pound baby. And I remember in 6th grade, in 3rd grade, they had to get me a special chair. They had to bring a chair in from the high school because the chair that I had at my desk, I
Your son's
smashed.
sitting at a 12th grade ass level. That's my boy.
How big were you in 6th grade?
I was 6 foot tall in 6th grade.
Wow.
Yeah, and they had to get a helmet for me for the football team from like the senior high school. Yeah, I remember
From a
this-
horse farm.
Yes, they had to weld it together out of two larger helmets.
It was
They
actually bear armor that they repurposed for a high school
They
boy.
folded a toilet in half. They put it on my head. Yeah, Mrs. Travis, I'll never forget. She got me a special chair.
Wow.
Larger than life,
What a
dude.
nice lady.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
She could have just let you wallow in that little chair, overcome it.
I mean, I was a beloved little fat child to the point where there was another fat kid who lived down the street named Corey Culkin. and they had me sit down with him. I was in like 2nd grade and he was in 1st, and they were like, hey, this is your like Big Brother program.
Oh man.
And then I realized years later they just sat me down with him because I was a fat kid and he was a fat kid.
You
But
can show him the ropes.
I was showing him like cool moves, you know? Try this one out next time, Corey.
Hit him with a little bit of like this. Make sure
Yeah.
you get your hips in there.
Yeah. Don't truffle
Don't go
shuffle
nuts.
every time. That's the
Yeah.
closer,
That's the
Corey.
closer. They'll go crazy for it.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, a little bit of robot,
Yeah.
and they will let you live.
Then they'll be getting you your big chair, buddy. Don't worry.
But yeah, I was a massive child.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but you figured it out.
Yeah, I got mono and thinned out.
That's what
at the
did it
end of
for
you?
school, yeah.
I guess I just didn't get sick enough as a
Yeah,
kid.
I got pretty ill. I had a spleen infection and almost died.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous.
And at the end of it,
Doesn't
I
that
was
make
just
you
not
feel
a
so like,
fat
what the
guy
fuck?
anymore.
It's
Yeah.
that it was that easy?
Yeah,
wow, a spleen
easy
infection.
as that. Yeah, I had mono and my spleen became inflamed.
Holy shit.
And they were like, if you would have like fallen down hard enough, it would have ruptured and you would have died.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, damn.
Yeah,
And
you-
I'm fucking skinny now. Whoa.
Your spleniatic bag, if that ruptures, it's very bad for your internal organs.
Yeah, it's probably all green stuff that comes out. That's
Yeah.
what I imagined. As
It's
soon
like
as they
having
told me, I
Slimer
said,
loose in your torso.
Oh,
I said,
no,
I
that's
said there's a
not good.
big bright green bag and it's swollen in my belly, and if it pops, all the goo is gonna come out and I'm gonna get poisoned.
Yeah, it's like I'm a gusher. I'm a ticking time bomb. Hey guys. That's a big part of this. No, they're not.
Glad handing.
No, you know my demographic. It's guys who look like Noah. I'm very lucky.
Migrant workers.
Yeah, it's all young
Way,
people who
dude.
after the show say, "You think Wormode's gonna start posting again?"
Hey man, could you tell Spud I told you that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bless their hearts.
I feel blessed that we get to go to the National Aquarium here in
The
Baltimore,
National
Maryland.
Aquarium.
Inner
Wow.
Harbor.
It better be really great
Yes.
for all the shit I've heard about it.
Inner Harbor, I hardly know her, more like.
That's a soundbite.
I'm harboring resentment towards that joke.
No, that's okay.
Hey, you better quit stealing my fucking shit.
Yeah,
We're all having
seriously.
fun. You
No,
knock it off
seriously,
right
you're
now.
fucking
No.
embarrassing me right now.
You're
Don't
making
ever
me
do
look
that.
bad too.
What the
in
hell?
front of
I
me.
can go.
Now,
Bobby?
and now my guest is embarrassed.
Yeah.
Do you want to leave? Do you want me to
I've
get in
been
the
to
fountain?
Danny's studio. He has snacks everywhere.
He does have snacks everywhere.
Yeah. You didn't bring me one fucking sweet treat.
I brought you
Besides
the-
a donut
I
and a
brought you the
lobster
Mason's
roll.
lobster rolls.
You did, yeah.
World famous.
And thank you for the lobster roll. I believe that if you want to keep supporting the lobster roll purchases, you can go to patreon.com/chubbybehemoth and join my podcast. $5 a month gets you all types of great content. That's right, Chubby Behemoth, the kind the pros use.
Is it wet? Is it about to rain? I feel like
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little.
I
droplet.
think we're
That's
about
my
to go
humidity
inside.
that I'm generating.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Danny, do you need anything
You're gonna
from
go
us?
crazy in this tropical bird room.
Is there a tropical bird
I think
room?
so. Yeah.
What the hell are they doing at the aquarium, dude? This is what I'm talking about.
There better be a tropical bird room.
I think so. There
Or
was
I'm
one
gonna
at the
be
Central
pissed.
Park Zoo. That was the best part.
Hey, can we get Bobby another pod? He went full hot dog on that last one.
Keto pods. No bun.
Yeah, these are keto pods.
Well,
I think that was a nice time.
let's go see the aquarium.
Undeniably nice time.
Yeah. Not as much fake laughter as the Mike Cannon episode, I'm sure.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, I bet we probably can.
We're gonna try and.
God, I'm gonna fuck one of these guys up. It's not gonna be Danny.
Bobby Sonics, watch out.
Danny's the only one I like. I'm just kidding, Bobby. You and me go way back.